about to find out as we jump onto Oasis, being our first map, and Gardens to start us off with.
And often we don't talk about the hovers in the spawn, but I'm pretty confident in what Team Gigantti are currently showing us for 3-3 composition with 3 supports and 3 tanks. And we see Davin moving over onto the Zaya. There were question marks on the desk as to what his role in this meta is going to be. We wondered, is his Widowmaker really going to be up to standard? Because we've seen such a high level of play from Widowmakers thus far, and he's mostly been all about the Tracer and all about the Zaya. We know that his tracking is phenomenal. The question is, will he be able to bring it when the sniper battles come? However, for now, it's all about the 3-3. He's going to get in there and brawl.
I'm very scared for Tracer players right now, and in fact, look,
straight back to spawn.
Straight back to spawn. They're going to change it up.
up.
Gigantti now are going to take firm control of this point, and it is fairly hard to fight against this 3-3 competition when they do have a firm ground to stand on. You are running into a double shield. You are running into those shields as well, coming from the Zaya, and a lot of healing to boot. Eagle Gaming changing up a little bit. They're going to go for the Wright and Zaya of their own.
Very decisive. You can tell the shot calling is on point for Eagle Gaming. They got back before the point was even unlocked, but now the capture is coming through from Gigantti. Here comes the engagement though to stop that capture.
Cloudy going in extremely low, and in fact, Superblue got moved a little bit into LH Cloudy's hammer, gets taken out first up. This is extremely high charge right now, but he can't really quite find a target. Eagle Gaming are just not using that speed boost from Muster extremely well, and Team Gigantti, they flip the switch, they run over Eagle Gaming. They're going to be able to secure the point and get a team kill to boot.
And something about the 3-3 composition which really gets talked about is the economy of Lucio's speed boost, and how if you can dictate an engagement, you often can win out when it comes to these sorts of fights, because you can allow your Ryan to get in a position to hit more people with those swings. You can see is evidenced by the ultimate charge of Cloudy. And look, Davin's also got that Graviton Surge ready to go already. I'm baffled.
After the first fight, they got 4 ults, and Shatter is looking at a 5th almost there as well. There's the self-destruct, the big bang, not quite landing though. It did land on the plant bot, Harry. Well, a bit of agriculture doing a lot of work for Eagle Gaming right now. The Shatter is going to hit the floor, however, Nico is still demexed, remember. Ripper on the back line, though, is going to get a nice coalescence through every single member of Team Gigantti, even the sound barrier to boot to support ultimates, but LH Cloudy is still going to fall. RTK going extremely low as well, is going to get demexed, and Superblue is going to finish him off with a flame strike. Contesting the point for now, but Team Gigantti are on the run. 51% is all that's been accrued for Team Gigantti thus far, but they're keeping this in contestation as Ripper tries to desperately get a little bit more charge towards the coalescence. He's going to be able to heal up Shadow here, who is, of course, on the Big Ether, and we did wonder what heroes is he going to be bringing out. It appears for now he's all about the Shield Maiden here. And they're building up incredibly quickly towards Morals. Look, Davin has got 66%. Again, he used the Graviton in the last fight. RCK is almost ready there to join him. Cloudy's lagging behind, so it's all about the Reinhardt here. How is Superblue going to try and control Cloudy? Well, there's the self-destruct. Ripper's going to have to get out of there. Uses that fade nicely, and a speed boost as well to actually corral them into this corridor. Superblue's going to go for the charge once again and gets stunned out of the earth. Shatter, and Shatter claims the kill. He's almost at that rally as well, so a whole load of extra armor for Team Gigantti in a minute. Another Graviton Surge from Hardy. She trucks it straight on top of the entire team, but no real follow-up is to be had. And another Graviton Surge coming out from Team Gigantti as well, and Hardy's just trapped inside. Self-destruct finishes him off. They end up finding Nico's mech as well. Hip is now on the run, just desperately trying to get out as fast as he can, just save some of that armor. A late sound barrier there coming out from Eagle Gaming to try and delay and add a little extra time to their bank, but Superblue all but 20 HP remains, and he's going to make his way out of the point as well. Lilbo ends up going down, but they're still managing to contest an extra 10% for their worries.
The greatest plans of Eagles and Men waylaid by the stuns of Shadow 2K, making sure that Superblue couldn't deliver that fabled Shatter, and now Cloudy, he's in the driver's seat, ready to lay down the hammer at a moment's notice. Eagle Gaming quickly will have to build up towards some ultimates, but of course Lilbo, he invested the sound barrier there onto very few members, so he traded it for percentage, but I think they could have used it more effectively in this upcoming fight, as speeding forward and leading the charge is Superblue.
One support ultimate online for either team. LH Cloudy, however, has that Earth Shatters moving forward. However, he doesn't have too much shield left, but apparently he doesn't even need it. There we go. Hip finally unleashing that Transcendence, and that Graviton Surge just locking them all in place. The self-destruct gets 2, and RCK once again showed that he can do it in Season 1, and Season 2 is no different. Davin is going to find the kill on Superblue. Nico's going to go down as well. Eagle Gaming got 2 ults left, but it's all too late. Objective secured, and the first point will go over to Gigantti.
And that was so smart from the side of Gigantti. They knew that there was going to be a Transcendence there to try and deal with one of their incoming ults. So what they decided is they're going to have Cloudy try and make his way around Superblue and lay down the hammer. He laid down enough members of Eagle Gaming that there was pressure on Hip to use that Transcendence, and after it was used, out comes a Graviton Surge from Davin. There isn't enough healing to make people survive it. If you saw how much damage was done, Cloudy laid down the Shadow. At the end of that fight, he had 90% again.
That is why he's one of the most scary Rhines
Man doesn't have a left. Man doesn't have a right click.
Why'd you need that? You could just do damage, Harry. Plus, your shield's already dead. They're pummeling it. Come on, what else am I supposed to do?
Cloudy's on the field. It's hammer time, but for now he's moving over to a Winston. More of a dive-centric composition here for Team Gigantti, and they're going to be rocking the double sniper. We talked about Shadow on the Elder Shimada. He's going to be showing that off right now. The Hanzo's here, and the question marks over Davin and his Widowmaker. Now, Davin, my friend, is the time to assuage those doubts.
Well, they even used the speed boost out the gate as well, but Gigantti aren't taking a forward position on the point. It's going to leave Leaf a lot of time to set up, and in fact, there we go, Davin switching over straight away to that Brigitte. Knows that he probably can't duel Leaf in the 1v1, so more of a brawly composition for Team Gigantti. Already,
Nico has lost his mech, and Davin's going to be coming in to try and control Hardest, who's quickly building up to that bomb. He's already 80%, and Leaf's trying to pop off as well.
Pop off he does as he pops off Ripper's head, and RCK's mech's going to die as well. They're going to find the resurrection onto Ripper, but RCK is still yet to spawn. So Gigantti, one man down, and Hardest building up to an extremely quick pulse bomb, mind you, is going to be able to lay that one out very, very shortly. Nice remech there coming through from Eagle Gaming, making sure they're back at full strength.
And once the Stormbow has been used, that means Eagle Gaming can go forward with the tanks. Not so scared, but Superplute needs to be a bit more.
Oh yeah, Shadow takes out Hip, and that'll be him moving forwards now. Shadow also taking out Hardest as well. Does get battle mercied as Little Bow ends his life. The double resurrection on both Winston players to make sure they stay up, but the problem is there's no healing for the rest of Eagle Gaming, meaning Nico is going to die to Davin's flail. And that'll be Leaf backing off as well. There's no way he was going to survive that one, and still contesting the point that whole time. Didn't mean they gave it over, so the first cap actually goes to Gigantti.
That was an incredibly long fight right there, Jaws, and Team Gigantti have the fruits of their labor displayed. Bright blue tick marks across the top right there. 5 ultimates ready to go. Master got huge value out of that Valkyrie. He managed to carry his team forward through that fight with it, and Lilbo invested hit as well, so he's not even at a disadvantage. We're at basically the same ultimate charge now. Eagle Gaming needs to try and get huge value out of his Farah. Going to be combining it with the Widowmaker of Leaf. We saw him pick off Ripper, but can he do more this fight?
Leaf has got one target to aim for as well, and that is Shadow, because he is the only person that's really going to take out Hardest on this Farah. Self-destruct is launched into the air and finds Hardest too.
Okay.
He used the concussion rocket to try and get a bit of distance, but it didn't seem to matter. He's going to get rezzed, and LH Cloudy is going to receive the same treatment. Now Leaf is on the high ground, but the problem is there's so many shields, and the ability for Team Gigantti to play around this podium is making Leaf's job very hard.
So many shields, so many targets, and Cloudy's had enough. He's added the Primal Rage to the mix. Master is taken down. You can't resurrect yourself. This may give a little bit of an opportunity to Eagle Gaming, but I imagine we will see Team Gigantti just come on back and fetch Master.
Do you reckon you'll be able to do that in the new free-for-all? I know you can nano yourself now as Ana. Can you now res yourself as Mercy if you get ult? That'd be an interesting change.
Yeah, Valkyrie resurrects oneself.
That'd be very annoying, actually. I don't play too much deathmatch, but when I do, I only play Doomfist, I'm not going to lie. Speaking of Doomfist,
I don't play deathmatch, but when I do.
Hardest now with the Rocket Barrage. He's got nothing ready to combo it. There's no Zaya, but maybe he doesn't even need it. He is moving forward very aggressively, mind you. Remember, Shadow is now dead. Hip did end up killing him, taking his life. And Eagle Gaming moving forward, knowing this is a reality. Davin, wrong place, wrong time, buddy. Straight on top of the Winston. He's still buying extra time, though they are 90%. But Eagle Gaming surely going to cap this point.
Gigantti were happy to bend back and allow Eagle Gaming to start accruing the capture percentage before they really engaged in the fight, and I wonder if that was a little bit of a mistake. They allowed Eagle Gaming to try and pick up their positions around the podium, meaning that Hardest could play around there for cover if he so needed, and now Leaf has the infra sites. Gigantti are not going to be able to profit any surprises as they move in, but absolute perfection is demanded from Eagle Gaming now. If Team Gigantti win one fight here on City Centre, they will likely be claiming Oasis.
Well, Davin now deciding he's having enough of Brigitte. He is jumping over to the Widowmaker. He wants to take that 1v1 on to Leaf. Lilbo activating that Valkyrie, same with Master. So they are going to move in with additional heals. The problem is with these Mercy players, they can't sit too up in the skybox. Sorry, they've got to be very scared of the incoming Widowmakers. Then Gigantti is going to take out Leaf, however, so one Widowmaker down. Now Hardest moving forward, trying to get the kill onto the Mercy, but Defense Matrix and the Transcendence making his job extremely hard, and Shadow's going to make it even harder now as Hardest goes down. Shadow moving forward, has got 50% on another set of dragons here, Harry. And that does mean that Winston has to get the heck out of dodge, and Hitbit's going to go down as well. 95%, that perfection you were talking about, not quite finding it. RCK even finds Nico's mech here as well. Easy secure it seems. Overtime now ticking through. Team Gigantti want to continue their undefeated streak against Eagle Gaming.
And it looks like they're on the right path to be doing that. Oasis claimed rather cleanly there by the Finnish side. The French sent reeling. And I've got to give a little bit of credit to them. Great shot calls when Gigantti came in for their final attack. They popped a Valkyrie a little bit early before the fight had really begun. And the French side, Eagle, were just like, we're just going to back off. We're going to let you burn out this time a little bit, then we're going to try and make our re-engagement. Unfortunately, there's no budgeting in your ultimate economy or in your shot calling for Shadow just hitting a headshot and sending Hardest to the grave.
It's just really easy after that, isn't it, really? And that fire worked out wonderfully for them. Problem is, as soon as that shut down, they haven't really got any damage to kind of back them up when Shadow takes out the other DPS with a swift little storm arrow. We'll be swiftly right back though, guys. We're jumping into a quick commercial, and we'll see you for map number 2 very soon. Welcome back, everybody. This is Gigantti versus Eagle Gaming. Gigantti right now, one map up over Eagle Gaming and still undefeated, faced them off as well.
Indeed, and we are going to be heading now into hybrid. The choice is Eagles, and they are going to be choosing, of course, between Eichenwald or King's Row. Both pretty tank-heavy maps.
Tank-heavy maps, and H Cloudy does do wonders on the Reinhardt. We saw him last time on Gardens just completely take over games. It can be very scary when you're going up such an experienced Reinhardt because you know you have to devote so much time and attention to that front line.
Yeah, and Superpluke is the resident Reinhardt for the side of Eagle Gaming. They, of course, have Nox in reserve. If they wish to move over to a more dive-ish composition, bring out the Winston. Nox is definitely one of the most veteran players in that role.
That's the best thing about Eagle Gaming as well, this diverse roster that they've got in the sub-line, right? They've got 8 players currently sitting on the roster, a couple from each role, and what's so important about that is they can diversify. They can move these more dive-centric tanks into the mix if they really need to. They've just come off the back of a win from Pit as well, and this is a roster that we haven't seen last season. We didn't see it in this current form, and I wonder now if they finally spread their wings, they've evolved into the more alpha Eagle that they can truly be.
They were a chicklet before, but now they're ready to spread their wings and fly. The question is, will they be flying too close to the furious Finnish sun that is presented by Team Gigantti? If so, they may well crash and burn.
Well, Shadow showing that he might be playing a little bit of Doomfist. I doubt it, though. There we go. Switches over to the
He's going for a quick dip in the river or the moat. Do you reckon it's a moat? It's probably a moat.
I feel like it would be a moat, right? There is a castle.
What kind of German castle does not have a moat?
Exactly. You do move over the bridge.
It's like a budget castle.
A budget castle.
Yeah, man. But budget castle for up-and-coming royalty.
Up-and-coming royalty.
Yeah,
Up-and-coming class.
It's a royalty startup.
Yeah, you can then
invest
you can just build
now
on top of it. Royalty startup or on Kickstarter?
Invest now in this up-and-coming kingdom.
What are the tiers for the Kickstarter royalty packages?
Do
you get like a small crown to start off with?
Invitations to royal weddings?
And yeah, that's the first one, and then you get a crown, eventually a bigger crown, then you own your own little turret on the side, and then quickly into the main dining hall. Speaking about main dining halls, maybe Eagle are going to feast on Gigantti. Rather swift entrance, up and around it seems. Gigantti is spotting this out rather quickly and going to be able to react.
And of course, we see RCK moving over from his usual off-tank rollover to something a little bit new. He's moving over onto a Pharaoh, a man showing a little bit of diversity. Shadow's going to be joining him there, and of course, Davin on his mainstay, what he was made famous with, the Tracer play. Eagle Gaming putting themselves onto a point. RCK's under pressure, but now he's free to rain down the rockets.
Already getting it demeched. Nico not having a good time right now. RCK, as soon as he gets elevated against this D.Va, he can just kind of shrug off the damage, especially from the healing as well that he can receive. Ripper and Davin getting their name on the scoreboards as Hardest does end up going down as well. Rather quick engagement and quick disengagement from Eagle Gaming. 70% now
Look at
on
that
Super
corpse.
Fluke. Corpse went a little bit AWOL there.
It went flying, just sent packing home. Eagle Gaming now going to be swapping up. Leaf over to the Roadhog. He wants to maybe hook RCK out of the air, and the quad tank is back in session. It was made famous in the European region last year and used to body the North American contenders in the Atlantic Showdown, which we will never forget or let you do so.
Just pick Junk.
Just pick Junkrat, lol.
Just pick Junkrat, lol.
RCK's gone for Pharaoh, though, instead.
In a little bit of trouble. Super Fluke is as well. He's going to have to healed up really quickly. 2 AoE healers on the side of Eagle Gaming, so there's a lot of healing to be had. RCK now with the Rocket Barrage, and remember how much, well, little defense they have, apart from a hook, of course, as Hardest does end RCK's life. Nice hook from Leaf there, already using the rebreathe of those dragons were there to end his life, or potentially so. Shadow already at 40%, gets hooked in and headshot, however. But the problem is, Eagle Gaming have lost the rest of their squads, and doesn't like Davin doing the dirty work. LH Cloudy helping him out as well.
The pig may well have gone big, but the remainder of Eagle Gaming was shot down around him by Team Gigantti, and only 2 ultimates were, well, rather 3 ultimates were invested. Shadow, a little bit of a bamboozle on me there, because it was already halfway towards another dragon, but 3 ults used and 3 remaining means that Team Gigantti using this Transcendence are going to be pretty hardy in the face of danger as Eagle Gaming move forward. But the Transcendence won't protect you from burst damage, and that's exactly what Nico can deliver with this D.Va with his ultimate, and Hardest is moving in quickly towards a Graviton Surge. There isn't much means of defense here for Team Gigantti.
Same entrance again. There's the sound barrier. Lands on 6 members of Eagle Gaming. Transcendence now forced out from Ripper, so he's going to be able to fall him back to the point. And speaking of falling, that's exactly what Lil Bo's going to do, is RCK does boop him straight off the edge, and LH Cloudy doing a lot of work as well. Leaf and Hardest making their swift exit into the moat of the castle in Eichenwald.
I talked about how the Transcendence cannot protect you from burst damage, but the Overshield cannot protect you from absolute damage that you will get from environmental hazards. That's exactly what was presented there by Team Gigantti. They made a great rotation to ensure they're on the backside of Eagle Gaming. That Eagle Gaming had their backs to the pit. And RCK and LH Cloudy, they were more than happy to deliver them to their dooms. And now, Hardest does have the magic, well, he's got the magic ready to go. Graviton Surge could decide this.
He just has to wait for that hook coming out from Leaf. RCK is going to go in there, drops to the floor, instantly kills Nico as soon as he was getting into the Meg, but Leaf does meet him with a swift hook. Has got that whole hog available to them as well. And remember how hardy this composition is, Harry. This quad tank is very hard to take down if you haven't got a lot of burst damage or sustained damage coming through from that Farah. And now Super Fluke finally ends up getting his revenge on Ripper and Shatter. They are just going to delay a little bit more time with Massa's ultimate, but Eagle Gaming do end up securing the battering ram. I'm going to move it towards the castle gates.
Some god tier juking there from Massa, but only about 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock here for Eagle Gaming. Let's talk about Eichenwald's second point, Jules. Verticality is everything here. And Eagle Gaming with the quad tank, they're very challenged for vertical mobility here. It's only going to be Nico who can move between those planes of verticality easily by using the thrusters. Meanwhile, Leaf, Super Fluke, Hardest, Hip, and Lilbo, they all have to take the long way around. Well, I suppose Lilbo could wall ride up, but he wants to keep everyone nice and fast around him.
Well, Davin now switching off that Tracer, knowing he can't do a whole lot.
Triple projectile, by the way.
Tracer bomb nerfs, yeah. Triple projectile. Davin ends up going down though. Nico is going to end his life, and that will be another rocket barrage online soon for RCK. However, the Dragons will start the fight off. However, Lord Charge coming through for Hardest. Just shields out all up. The Little Bow was very vulnerable in the back line. RCK just targets the shield of Super Fluke, just made it work. Coalescence does take him out of the air, and that'll be a nice hook actually from Leaf, but is he going to be able to do anything else? Primal Rage gets unleashed, but not quite enough. Master couldn't quite escape that Graviton Surge. Leaf does a fantastic job of finishing him off, but Davin just respawned and is making sure his presence is known.
This time RCK was more mindful of a hook cooldown from Leaf, ensuring it was on cooldown before he brought down the barrage. But one of the main disadvantages of these triple DPS compositions with the less hardy members is that it's incredibly hard to keep the payload in contestation. You saw that the payload was already halfway through before LH Cloudy could make a great engagement there and try and stay on the payload, because he's only got 500 health to work with, and these guys will brawl out incredibly heavily.
Shadow into the corridor, does find 2 as well, and that's a big lot of damage coming out from Nico and Super Fluke. Now they end up killing Davin and AH Cloudy. Little Bow's going to go down again, but the payload has been delivered. Those doors will crash down to the floor, and that is 2 minutes and 30 seconds now remaining for Eagle Gaming.
Well, it's the RCK swap here. Shadow and Davin have ultimates to use, and RCK, of course, is going to move over towards Vazar. Usually the mainstay of Davin, but of course you cannot forgo that Riptide. It's an incredibly useful ultimate, and Eagle Gaming going to have trouble taking it out. It's going to be mostly down to Hit and Nico to do so, but already, look, it's been eaten. The Dragon eaten up by Nico. That's a great start for them.
20 HP on that tire. Nico does find the kill. Very, very good on the right click and the left click, apparently coming out from the Diva specialist. Shadow now moving forward with the bow and arrow, but can he do much to this very chunky composition? Transcendence now being used by Ripper to keep the front line alive. Are they actually going to be able to contest this card at all? LH Cloudy doesn't have ult. RCK's built it towards his, but Hardest, he's got that Graviton Surge, and even Leaf now on the Brigitte is going to be a tough opponent to match up to. Nico, LH Cloudy's going to fall. They can't touch it in time. Davin tried to use that explosive mine to get closer, but it wasn't quite enough. They end up finishing the round, and that first point was incredibly tough to take, but they just rolled it through second and third.
Well, that is what the tank composition is all about, Jules. It's all about getting that momentum and making the most of it. And Gigantti, they never really had enough health to put on the payload. They could plank away from afar with high damage with the Pharah, the Junkrat, the Hanzo. But there was always enough healing on Eagle Gaming that they didn't have to worry so much about the incoming damage. Like, okay, we're just going to farm this for Coalescence and support ultimates. By the way, you need to come to the cart and defend this. And when you do, LH Cloudy was in for a bad time, because Leaf was always saving the hook for him. Even just hooked him, shot him, and then whole hog as well. Don't care about your Primal Rage. I'll just knock you back.
I don't mind. You may be really angry, but this gun's got a whole lot of scrap in it, and you're going southwards.
A new way to address anger management.
Or just blowing them away with the scrap gun? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, hurts a lot, though.
You're a lost cause, Winston. Putting you down.
I'd want a refund if that was the case, if someone just threw a load of scrap at me if I was really angry.
Alternative treatments, man.
Alternative treatment? Really?
Homeopathy.
Okay, well, you're definitely not becoming a psychiatrist later on in life, I can tell you that for sure.
It's a minor in my degree, actually.
Oh, God. Please, no. Gigantti now on the offense, Eagle Gaming now on the defense. Now, something that Gigantti did rather late was actually switch up RCK to the Zarya. They did actually switch up LH Cloudy as well from the Winston to the Rhine to battle in those tight corridors, but it was too little too late. Eagle Gaming doing kind of the same thing as Team Gigantti here. They're running Leaf on the defense on that projectile, so he's going to be able to skirt around these buildings. They also have Nico on the Hanzo to combo with Hardest.
And while Nico is on our minds, I want to highlight again, even though we did it during the cast of the third point of Icon World last time, he managed to not only eat the Dragon Strike coming out, but he also killed for Riptide. And those are the two tools that Gigantti had to try and have some semblance of stability in their defense. Both of those being destroyed by Nico is really what secured Eagle Gaming the fast passage through there and made sure they weren't waylaid on their way.
Oh, now they're going to go for the swift offense. Davin now on the Tracer. Okay, so going back to an old favourite. It's going to be very hard for him to take someone out in the air, and Nico's going to take Davin out. Yeah, one shot from the damage boosted arrow is enough to kill him. It's unfortunate for Tracer players in this meta, it feels. Shadow is also going to take out Hip, and Little Bow is going to fall too. So actually, Eagle Gaming losing both supports. Super Fluke does get his revenge. Davin is going to die, but Shadow, no one is contesting this man up in the air. Leaf takes out Massa, however, but the two direct rockets onto Leaf and his existence, and Shadow is now just going to, well, pay Nico a little visit too.
He's a ground Pharah right now, just going in through the doorway. Hiya! Just meet my rockets, and now no shield is available for Hardest. He's got a lot of energy. He's going to be a big target, but that Harmony Orb is there, and so is the shield from the top. Great play from Super Fluke.
Two supports were down for Eagle Gaming as well, and they've managed to still hold on to the point. Shadow has 80% towards that rocket barrage. It's whether he can actually get it off. The problem is right now he's going to be a very large sitting duck for Nico to pick up the air.
And already Nico and Hardest are almost ready to come in with the Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combination. Shadow going to try and win out the air duel again, and from long range, Leaf's going to be put on notice by the little love tap of the rocket. Now Team Gigantti needs to go deep into the back.
He's looking for it, does it straight in the corridor, and Nico and Hardest are going to die.
Combo.
Hip goes down as well. 180 managed to get a triple kill, and in the end, Little Bo does end up killing him, but the problem is Gigantti, they've got the numbers now. They are going to go up against Eagle Game, though, who do have that combination still available. Hardest and Nico are ready to unleash the Grab Dragons, but it's whether they can actually get to the point to do so. Capture about 50% now. It does look like they are going to retreat and go for it again. Team Gigantti only have one ult to work with, however, I take that completely back. There's the Dragons, go straight past them and actually get denied by RCK, who takes out Nico in the process too. So the one hope Eagle Gaming did have just gets completely eradicated.
So with that investment, what I would call a foolhardy time, in brutal honesty, we are going to see Nico swap over from the Hanzo onto the Diva, and once again, it's all about verticality. Jaws, he wants to move between these planes of existence, so he's always able to counter out a threat that is presented by Team Gigantti, who are pretty vertically able with this Hanzo and Diva combination, because of course the wall climb is there, and Eagle Gaming, you can see just how high they are. You can see that Hip is going to be incredibly safe up there as he rains down these orbs.
Yeah, Leaf has actually switched over to the Brigitte as well. Right, Davin tries the kill onto Hardest out there. Leaf is going to meet Shadow, meet his match, but Transcendence coming through for Eagle Gaming, keeping them all alive as well. Does leave Shadow to actually get rezzed, and Davin takes a swift mace to the behind. Hip does take out RCK, and now Ripper's trying to get a little bit of damage onto the Winston. They do end up winning in the numbers game. They are still battling against two healers, however, and Hardest doing a whole lot of work as well, but Nico not being able to get that remake might just be to their detriment, as they do chase Leaf into this tight corridor. Even LH Cloudy does have the ult available. No shields matter when you got a Tesla cannon straight in your face, and they are just going to be able to clean up the rest of the members.
And look at the difference in styles here between the defensive Team Gigantti and Eagle Gaming. Team Gigantti, they've been stopped almost straight away at the gate. Eagle Gaming was straight out. They used the speed boost from Lil Bo to move onto the highest rampart of the castle wall, and then they dropped down from there, whereas Team Gigantti, they're a lot more sheepish with their defense. They waited until the cut was about halfway towards the goal to even try and get some contestation there. So this means that Eagle Gaming are going to have a few more fights to play with, but this one already isn't going well.
No, speaking about orbiting over already, Hip and Super Fluke end up falling, and Davin's just going to chase the rest of the members down, and that is all done, Harry. It's all finished.
Oh, out of gas.
That was literally over in about 2 seconds. They just Tesla cannon through the corridor. They were taking way too much damage. Even the Diva was there to soak up a little bit of that with the defense matrix, and they were able to deliver the escort in almost record time, although around the same time-ish as Eagle Gaming. Not quite there yet. They just need to clear this Brigitte off the point. However, I say that, I kind of wonder if they're going to be able to take this now as Nico is in the action, but there's too much damage for them to deal with. They can't actually stop Davin at this point, not when Leaf is down.
Did we talk about LH Cloudy on Reinhardt is pretty impressive, but you know, he's a pretty good Winston as well. And moving into Season 1, one of the major questions we have for this team is, can LH Cloudy hold his own on Winston? And he's making a case for it right here. Look at him, he's got the Primal Rage again. He's getting so much cleave damage onto these tight combinations. Eagle Gaming now back to the 3-3. Super Fluke back on his home Reinhardt, but Super Fluke in the back with a Primal Rage is going to mess up this formation quickly.
Oh, LH Cloudy's going to mess it up as well. There is the Dragon Strike moving on through. LH Cloudy batting everybody aside. Graviton Surge used, however, a Transcendence to match, and a beautiful bubble coming through just to make sure they can't get the kill with that self-destruct. Sound barrier on the defense here for Eagle Gaming, but Super Fluke didn't actually receive it, so he's taking a lot of damage and actually forced to move forward, in fact, as he does end up pinning Davin, but is sacrificed in the end. They can't do that too often, especially as they are very, very close to delivering the point. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, and Eagle Gaming are just getting routed here. This composition is all about sustain in this fight. There's just way too much damage from Team Gigantti for them to actually deal with it.
Leaf very intelligently keeping the rally for their last fight, ensuring they're all going to be far more fortified as they move into that final fight. Super Fluke, he's been swinging away, ready to use that Earth Shadow yet again, and Hardest already 75% of the way to yet another Graviton. But look at this ult bank from Team Gigantti. They're already using the Dragon Strike to try and lock down points of ingress.
That was a lot of damage on the left-hand side, but Leaf now opening up that rally. Coalescence is going to be there as well. Davin does take out Nico's mech. It's just Shadow out on the sidelines, just trying to get past that shield, but it's very, very hard for him. Graviton Surge coming out from Eagle Gaming. They trap everybody in, but they can't quite find the kills, and another Transcendence saves them. Davin's the only one that gets pinned. pinned, but Shatter is still alive. The main source of damage coming through from Team Gigantti.
A
A self-destruct lands on the Chandelier and doesn't quite do much of anything, but can they still sustain this fight? They're going up against all that armor from Eagle Gaming. Gigantti making a rather swift retreat, but Eagle Gaming still chasing them out the castle. It's not your house, it's ours. RCK goes down at the end, and Gigantti, they're going to have to make another push.
They made the most out of that rally, and now Hip moving over from the Moira onto the Zenyatta. They want to make the most of this Discord. They want to make sure Cloudy is never feeling confident on this Reinhardt, always worried about his health, always worried about whether that purple orb is going to be afflicting him. Shadow, once again, has the Dragon Strike ready to go, but RCK is far from the Graviton Surge. Of course, he just swapped for himself. So that means Shadow can probably use this in a more frivolous manner, but Valkyrie's already come out. Dragon Strike may well be damage boosted.
They do have a Graviton Surge. Card just going to throw that in. The Dragon's there to counter it, but it's too little too late. Davin's already down. RCK is going to join him. LH Cloudy, Shadow, all the members of Team Gigantti are just going to fall. Those Dragons pretty good to try and dissuade the oncoming approach of Eagle Gaming. Problem is, there's too many tanky members. No one's going to go down instantly to that DPS.
You know he's about to get a whole lot more tanky. Hip is, because Leaf has the rally ready to go. We'll put the armor under those shields nice and tucked in, all nice and cozy under there. As we move in towards our final fight territory, 45 seconds remaining, and RCK is already down.
LH Cloudy's going to die as well. Massa jumps off with a little splash, goes into the water, and Hip is actually chasing. They're chasing Davin rather far here. They know exactly where he is. That is a big stagger.
Big right
30 seconds remaining. Hip finds another kill, and he has Transcendence. Ultimate economy for Eagle Gaming, looking so good.
And now they are holding at the door. You aren't going to get out of here without some blood and bruises from the previous series. 3-0 to Team Gigantti to knock Eagle Gaming out of Contenders Season 1. Now they sit up 1-0. Eagle Gaming are ready to get a point on the board. They're going to take their revenge.
Transcendence, here it is. There's the tire, lands on Nico's Meg. The strike does hit the ground, but is the Earth Shatter enough? An Earth Shatter to actually end Nico as he was in Baby 4. They couldn't quite make it to the cart, though. With Eagle Gaming, they find their first win against Team Gigantti to tie up the series 1-1.
The desk had it, chat had it. Gigantti win. But Eagle Gaming aren't going to be giving it up without a fight. That much is for certain. LH Cloudy there, getting the play of the game with the Winston. And look at this, making sure that all of those overshields weren't put to use. Great play from the Winston, but unfortunately wasn't enough to win out Eichenwald in the end. Oh, and joining them.
He goes down as well. I thought he survived that. I thought it might be for the style points jump up as well, and he ends up surviving too. Short cooldown, obviously, the leap being on.
2 seconds.
Oh boy, LH Cloudy proving that he can play the Ryan, proving that he can play that Winston as well, but it is Eagle Gaming tying up the series 1 apiece with a fantastic showing of triple, 3-3 in fact with that Brigitte.
Yeah, when it comes to proving things, Eagle Gaming proving Gigantti aren't exactly their kryptonite, and they're here to fight to the death for the supremacy of Group B.
Yes, look, turning up to be quite a scary group. Maybe this is Eagle's final roster they wanted to run with. Maybe
final
this
form
is their final form. The Alpha Eagle is now soaring above our heads. But Gigantti, can they bring it back? That's the question. You've got to say their play looked fantastic on Oasis. Not so much on this hybrid map, but we are going to map number 3 very shortly. It was that too. Yeah, exactly. But we're going to jump to a quick break, guys. We'll be back momentarily where the desk are going to break down that game even more.